Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Earth Mac, the mad scientist. And this is the Orange Phoenix Show. This is Nerd Talk. This is Nerd Talk today. And this is on Wrestlemania weekend. Wrestlemania weekend is here. And I am super excited. I am super excited about it. You know what? I got to take that back. I'm semi excited about WrestleMania, but we got a lot to cover tonight as far as our Nerd Talk live for this week, because there's been a couple things that actually been transpiring over the past week. You know, shout out to Genevieve. If you haven't checked out our most recent show, you definitely need to check out our most recent show. And also remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and be a part of the Geek Corner fandom. And also, if you want to go to TeePublic, we will drop the link in the description below. If you like the show, go ahead and comment. Give us your thoughts and your opinions on all the things that is geekdom. So before I jump into WrestleMania, there's a couple things I need to address. Now, first, you know, earlier this week, or maybe like the last part of last week, you know, the TikTok CEO was under fire. He did his congressional hearing, and there was a lot of uproar within the TikTok community, within the social media content creator community, was pretty much backing the TikTok CEO up, honestly, because honestly, he couldn't really get a word in. And honestly, with congressional hearings, you really don't get a word in. It is your time to sit there and get roasted by politicians. I mean, that is your only bread and butter, just to sit there and get roasted, to the point where a politician is grandstanding in front of the camera to make themselves look good, because, you know, election year is coming. You know, they got to keep face, or whatever the case may be. This guy could not get a word in. But I don't really think it's about, this whole situation is about, you know, cybersecurity or anything like that. I think it really has everything to do with money. TikTok has been whooping Facebook's ass, like whooping Instagram's ass, because like it's so much information that's out there, so many ways to grow your brand or grow your content or whatever the case may be. And like it's so many like newsworthy things, like life hacks and, you know, getting cheap flights and, you know, little side hustles. I mean, there's some side hustles that's a little bit scamish, but you know what I mean. And honestly, a lot of people have connected through TikTok. I mean, even if you had a difference of political opinion, you know, even in your algorithm, sometimes you'll see someone that has an opposite opinion than you, but you have a chance to actually have a conversation with that said person and somehow reach common ground. Like, it actually is connecting people more so nowadays than Facebook. And, you know, old Mark Zuckerberg must be feeling some type of way about it, because TikTok is literally killing the game. All right. Short form content is killing the game. I mean, think about it. Instagram has Reels now. Facebook has Reels now. And obviously YouTube Shorts, which actually is a good thing, is using like Shorts to compete with TikTok, because short form content is the move right now. It is the move, and TikTok is dominating up there. I think if anybody is remotely close, is YouTube Shorts, because YouTube actually monetize content and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say YouTube is the enemy. But I will say the head of FB and Instagram is possibly the enemy, because there were a time where you could stream video games on Facebook. Not no more. I mean, you weren't going to get paid for that. You just were going to like stream on Facebook. So I think TikTok and YouTube is going to be, you know, the top tier. I don't really think there's going to be a TikTok ban, honestly, because if there is indeed a TikTok ban, it's not going to be well received by the millions and millions of TikTok users, because all they're going to do is have a mass exodus on the other social media platforms. I mean, the bottom line is the money. And I think what's going to happen is that they're going to reach some type of common ground, and we're still going to have TikTok. So people don't panic. I think TikTok is still here and it's here to stay. I don't really think it's going to get banned. I don't think a lot of people that has a TikTok account or has a very high following in TikTok, they're not really worried about this ban. But I think their voices have been heard. I mean, it is one of the sources for information. I wouldn't say it's the number one source of information, but say for instance, like you may get your news from like CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or what have you. But every morning they go to a meeting and like, this is what we're going to talk about. This is what we're not going to talk about. This is what we're going to talk about, so on and so forth. And I see on TikTok some of the news that I do not see on TV, I see on TikTok. And with research, it comes out to be true. So I don't know. I don't think TikTok's going to be banned because it's so many people that's using that interface. So many people is using that for content creation, for information gathering, for life hacks, and for cooking recipes, for workout regimens. Just bringing people together. Nah, it's too strong. It's too strong. Now, speaking of TikTok, I actually re-downloaded my TikTok. Actually, I've been putting out some content out there. And, as I was going through the For You page, I saw something very interesting. The interesting thing I saw was there was a TikTok video by, I want to say Nikkei Marina. If I pronounce your name wrong, Nick, I strongly apologize. But Miss Marina, she went on a TikTok rant about Black Sands Entertainment. I'm like, yo. And usually when she goes on rants, it is very much warranted. Like, it's very much warranted. So she goes on this rant and she talks about how the head of Black Sands Entertainment, Manuel, went after this smaller content creator in the Mighty Z about her critique of Black Sands Entertainment. And so I did some digging. And I went to Mighty Z and I actually looked at her critique of Black Sands Entertainment. It was what it was. It was a critique. All she said was it gave very strong hotel vibes. It looks like the character does not have like any type of emotional range, where when any good story, your character, whether it's protagonist or antagonist, or side characters, has emotional range. Otherwise, your story is not going to last very long. Now, she did this review of Black Sands Entertainment last year. This was in 2022. So, like a few days ago, he goes on live and tells his followers to harass this young lady to the point of banning that particular video. Like, bro, how old are you? Like, this young lady, I think she's like 26 years old, and Manuel, the head of the CEO of Black Sands, I know he's well in his 40s. I'm like, how you gonna tell your follower base to go cancel this young lady? Like, this dude, okay, this guy has over, I want to say 500,000 followers. He got a large follower base on Instagram. He has a large follower base on TikTok. He's been featured on Shark Tank, where Kevin Hart and Mark Cuban has both invested in Black Sands Entertainment. So, I mean, bro, why you couldn't just walk away from that? Like, what was in your mind to say, I got to respond to this person because they critiqued my comic? I mean, if you in the content creating industry, you're going to get critiqued. If you are creating a comic book, you're going to get critiqued to the point where you could take that criticism and make some changes the way you want to. I mean, I get it. On the flip end, it is his particular company. He could do whatever he wants with it. But to respond and to tell your followers to harass this young lady, to ban that video because she didn't favor your comic book. Now, I met him like a few years ago at MomoCon, and this when I would say he was first starting out, but he didn't have the follower base, like he does now. So, he was telling me about Black Sands Entertainment, and per usual, I was a little skeptical about what's going on. Now, his vibe was a little off, But at the same time, you know, it was a black-owned company. It was a black-owned publishing company. So obviously, you're not going to say nothing bad. You're not going to tell people not to read his comic or whatever the case may be. You know, I was skeptical. Fast forward up till, I would say last year or so, he was on Shark Tank. I'm like, yo, I met this guy. I met him and his wife. And see him get the deal done on Shark Tank, I was super proud of that. I was really super proud of that. So, and his personality really did shine on national television because it never did change. But when I saw this live stream, I was like, yo, what reason do you have? And this ain't the first time I see him attack someone. I think anybody that has a difference of opinion when it comes to his particular comic, he's going to come after you. He's going to screenshot, DM. He's going to go on live. He's going to tell people, you know, how he feels about it or what have you. But that's not the right way of doing business, man. Like, do you realize who's invested in you? Like, Kevin Hart is invested in you. Like, Mark Cuban is invested in you. Like, bad press it's not good for you, player. It ain't. Mark Scott says, I haven't been keeping up with the Black Sands, but the creator has been going hard for a long time. If nobody picked it up, something gotta be wrong. Ego tripping, says G Signature. Exactly what it is. It's definitely ego tripping. Now I will say people have picked it up. I mean, he made over between 1.5 and $2 million in sales. So he has gained some traction. Like, the artwork is really, really good. Mighty Z did say that the comic is a little misogynistic, but she didn't tell people, hey, you know what? Cancel this comic book. Do not go buy this comic book. Don't do this. Don't do that. Like, she just gave her opinion on that said piece because people have asked her, hey, can you do a review on Black Sands Entertainment? And all she said was, hey, it's a little hotepish and it's misogynistic. I can't really get next to it. I can't connect with the character because it has no emotional range. And I mean, the dude would just go straight off. I mean, all it takes is one tear. I was told this. All it takes is one tear and all your shit'll blow up. Like, all your shit'll blow up. If it gets to the right ears, then it's over for you, dude. I do not want to see that for him. I really don't. I really don't want to see that for him. I thought it was just like a one-off, honestly. I seen it all on TikTok, and then I go on Facebook and I look on Black Anime Nerds and someone posted about this joint. Then I look on YouTube and I see YouTube shorts about this joint. This is like 3 days straight of Black Sand slander, to the point where he limited the comments in Black Sands on TikTok, because so many people comments like, oh, so you're gonna tear this down too, just like you tear down this young lady? I like, people are going after this man, and it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Hopefully he can recover from this. I mean, the only thing I can really say is you better off not saying anything at all. You should have just took the criticism and kept it moving. You should have took that criticism and said, hey, you know what? Maybe I should change a little something. Maybe there's a disconnect somewhere in the storyline, you know, without, you know, vastly changing the characters out, but at least bring a little bit more shine to other characters. Maybe some emotional range wouldn't hurt. But again, that's his comic. That's his story. That's how he wants to do it. He's been successful in doing that. But I think he took 2 steps back with what he did a few days ago. And you waited a whole year, fam? Like a critique from a year ago, dude. You couldn't just like ignore that, kept it pushing. You had to say something. You had to say some bullshit like that. Now, on top of all that, he actually went after Eric July. Now, those of you that may not know who Eric July is, he is the proprietor of ISOM #1 in the Rippaverse. You need to go check him out, Young Ripper. You know, he has, you know, a difference of political opinion, but that's neither here or there. I just like to see the fact that he's prospering, and he did it with his own money. Like, no Kickstarter, no investments. Like, this is the money he made. This is his baby. He is self-made. Like, this is crazy. Like, he made millions. And the fact that he was featured on Fox News, because Fox News did their own personal spin on it, saying that it's attack against, wokeism and all this other stuff, which it really wasn't, because the main character is black. It didn't never emphasized on that the character is black, or just keep it at that point. Because, I did see something where in Black Anime Nerds, a young lady actually commented about Black Sans black pandering. And I never could figure out the phrase for that whenever I see like certain comics. But Isom wasn't doing that. He just wanted to write his own comic the way he wanted to write it. He was very successful, and he may be number one at this point as far as black comic book creators or publishers or whatever the case may be, independent wise. And Manuel actually went after this man, like hated on this dude. Like, you couldn't congratulate this man, mainly because of his political opinions, mainly because of that. And I you got to congratulate that guy. I mean, I think that's what's wrong with not our culture as a whole, but some people. Like, it's like a crab in a barrel mentality. Like, there's enough room at the table for everybody. Like, what harm could it have done for you to congratulate this man on his success with Isom #1 and the Rippaverse? Like, almost every other day I see him put out content, and he talk about other things besides comic books or whatever, and he has controversial takes and everything else. But again, I'm not going to say I want to see this man fail. I'm never going to say that. I'm never going to tell another black man or black woman I want to see them fail because I have a difference of opinion personally with that person. Nah, I want you to thrive. I want you to to make that money, get that bag. And the head of Black Sans failed at doing that. Like, I think the floodgates opened where other people just open up about their run-ins with him, and it's not a good look. G Signature said he just wanted to be the only black-owned entity in this space. I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that. That's selfish. There is enough room at the table for everybody. I mean, I created the Orange Phoenix show, created a magazine, got staff, had guest members on, got co-hosts. They came and went. But I always wish other people that is in the same space as me success. And I want them to wish the same for me, because we can all eat at the table. And that's where it always comes down to. I feel like he needs to apologize to this young lady. He needs to talk to Eric July in private. Like, you could have had that conversation in private. You ain't had to go on a rant on social media, and you really call this man out his name. Like, you call him a derogatory term. That's crazy. Like, so I mean, just yesterday I saw someone else on TikTok that, a lesser known content creator, that she talked about her run-in with him and how people stood up for Mighty Z and not for her, but her voice is being heard right now, and sometimes that's all it takes. But we got to get out that crab in the barrel mentality. We really got to stop doing that. Really stop doing that. I don't think he really cares about a political agenda. He knows he can attack that because it would trigger a certain audience. Divide and conquer. Exactly. G Signature is absolutely correct. It definitely, he's smart. But I think this situation, it backfired. It backfired on him heavy. And this is continual. But I hope it gets better for him. I hope it's definitely get better for Mighty Z. On the plus side, Mighty Z has been gaining a lot of followers because of this, like in support of her and people watching her content, which I highly encourage you guys to check out the Mighty Z on TikTok. You definitely need to check her out and follow her. She gave a lot of good critiques as far as, black comic book characters and how she feels they should go. So, honest critiques. Nothing wrong with that. So, as you all know, this is WrestleMania season. WrestleMania starts tomorrow. All right, night one is tomorrow, and I will say this: I'm not that excited about WrestleMania. I'm semi-excited about WrestleMania. I'm not as excited about WrestleMania this year as I was in the previous years. Like, It hasn't quite hit me yet. But usually, like, my adrenaline is going every WrestleMania season, like the day before. Like, I wouldn't say I can't sleep, but I'm a little excited. You know, the day of WrestleMania, I'm excited. I just want to see these matches and see what happens and everything else. If you look at the whole card of night 1 and night 2, you might feel a little unimpressed. But I'm going to go through night 1. I'm going to give you my predictions on night 1 and night 2 as far as WrestleMania is concerned. And speaking of which, actually, Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor is going on right now. So you can actually check it out on Fight TV. Obviously, they're going to replay it because you're listening to my show. So, hey, you know, it is what it is. So, night 1, you got John Cena versus Austin Theory. Now, this is in no particular order. All right? No particular order. Austin Theory versus John Cena for the United States Championship. Hot take, right out the gate. I want John Cena to win. And I want him to do the open challenge on Monday night. And I want Braun Breaker to be the one to answer the challenge and beat John Cena for the United States Championship. I feel like that would be a genius move because, I mean, Braun Breaker is actually defending his NXT title against Carmelo Hayes. You know what I'm saying? If that card is wrong because I haven't been following NXT like that, but Braun Breaker is defending his NXT championship and he's still holding that NXT championship. But if he drops it, he can show up on Monday night, beat John Cena. After John Cena beat Austin Theory, have Braun Breaker just lateral move. I wouldn't say a lateral move because he moves up to the main roster and he's the United States champion. So let's see what he does because honestly, they are pushing Braun Breaker to be the next big thing, like to be the next big person, maybe after Roman Reigns. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Now, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley. That's my pick. Rhea Ripley. Like you can very well have Charlotte beat Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, right? I'm still a little salty about her beating Asuka, you know, a few WrestleManias ago because that literally killed the momentum of Asuka. Like whenever you are undefeated, if you really do notice, whenever you have an undefeated streak and you are dominant, the minute that you lose, you kind of go down a little bit on the tier list. Like you start losing other matches that you shouldn't even lose. And I'm still salty about that, man. It's two particular matches I'm still salty about. Charlotte beating Asuka at WrestleMania and Triple H beating Sting at WrestleMania because they ultimately serve no purpose at all. But my pick is Rhea Ripley for sure. G Signature said, man, Theory already got that suitcase snatched and you gonna have him lose at WrestleMania, huh? Look, I like Theory. Like some people hate Theory, but I don't like. I mean, I really do like Theory. Some people hate Theory, but I like him. But I'm just saying for storyline purposes, because he held the title for a considerable amount of time, and you have him face John Cena. John Cena beats him, but Theory has to have a stupendous showing against John Cena. Like there's no denying. Like he goes toe to toe with John Cena. Like give them 20 minutes. Give them 20 minutes of Theory just showing his whole ass out there against John Cena. And then maybe that would turn some of the doubters, into believers. But have it ultimately lose and then Braun Breaker takes it. But if that doesn't transpire, Theory wins. If that doesn't transpire, if that's not in the cards, okay, give it back to Theory. Let him win. Let him win it. Mark Scott says, I'm still salty about Triple H beating Booker T. Hey, let me... So, let me rephrase. There's 3 matches that I'm not too fond of as the result. And that's that Booker T match and Triple H and Sting, and Charlotte and Asuka. Man, thanks for reminding me, Mark. Thanks for reminding me. Braun Breaker / Austin Theory angle would be nice. It would be nice. It would be nice. Because, Theory got an axe to grind. So that'd be a good deal. Now, Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish versus Damage Control. I understand that you're trying to put a little bit more shine on the women's tag team titles. That is Triple H's aim. When it was on Damage Control, it really didn't do anything. And that's nothing against the performers that actually had those tag titles. It wasn't going to do anything. I think a lot of people were speculating that Mercedes Moné and Naomi was going to show up and become the world, the women's tag team champions once again, because a lot of people was wanting that. A lot of people was thinking that's the big payoff after it's all said and done. But you could throw that shit in the trash, because Mercedes Moné is out there in New Japan, possibly AEW maybe. Naomi is done. Like, she doing her own thing. She hanging out with Jade Cargill. I mean, that's a moot point now. But now you got Lita and Becky Lynch holding the women's tag team championships. But you got a 3-on-3 tag team match. Now, I don't know if it's a Freebird rule or what, but I'm not looking forward to this match. I mean, I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to see this match. I don't have that kind of vibe with me. Now, G Sinister says, has Triple H ever lost a closure match where a rivalry has ended? Yeah, Undertaker. Yeah, Undertaker beat him twice. No, yeah, beat him twice. Yeah, Undertaker beat him twice. So he did lose a closure match. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to this Damage Control, Lita, Trish, Becky Lynch type of thing. Now, I think, as my grandma would say, there's a dead cat on the line, because I feel like this is too smooth of a match. I mean, how many times we have seen Becky Lynch and Damage Control? Damage Control, Becky Lynch. Damage Control, Becky Lynch. Now it's sprinkling a little Lita, sprinkling in a little Trish. My guess is Trish might turn heel and turn on Becky Lynch and Lita. I think that's what's going to happen. And I think that might set up something for SummerSlam. Maybe. That's just my guess. Because the card itself is not overly impressive. But this is WrestleMania at the end of the day, right? So at WrestleMania, you got surprises. You don't know who's going to show up. I mean, I remember the Hardy Boys showed up, and it blew my socks off, man. I mean, it blew my mind, because I had no idea the Hardy Boys was coming to WrestleMania, and then it popped up at WrestleMania. So I'm looking at some surprises now. I think there's a ram in the bush somewhere. I think there's going to be a heel turn of some sort, and they're going to get screwed out of the title. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think Trish Stratus is going to be that X factor, because her demeanor with this whole situation is just weird. Just weird. So Mark says Damage Control has gotten old already because of how they were booked. No personalities. A Trish turn will happen. Mark says Naomi / Trinity was just spotted at Wale Mania with Jade Cargill. Yeah, they've been hanging. So Damage Control can't be legit if Bayley doesn't have the belt. I believe that. I think Bayley should have had the title at least at some point. Her having the title, and Io Sky and Dakota should have had the tag team titles, and then you would have had something. You would have had, it wouldn't have been the bloodline, but you would have had something there. But Trish, I see that happening. Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. Now I'm actually looking forward to that. Match. Seth Rollins is going to take the dub on that. But it's going to be a tremendous showing by Logan Paul. I think rumor has it that his contract ends after WrestleMania, but I really think that Logan Paul will actually get this dub. I really think that he'll get the dub out of the whole thing. Not Logan Paul. Not Logan Paul. I'm sorry. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is ultimately going to win because he has more to gain from that dub. He has, the story was writing itself at Royal Rumble. I mean, once I saw that, I'm like, okay, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, WrestleMania. We've watched WWE long enough to know who's going to face who at WrestleMania according to the build-up, right? So, Seth Rollins takes the dub against Logan Paul. Logan Paul going to show his ass, and he's going to wow the crowd. He's going to be hated, but he's going to wow the crowd with his moveset. I mean, I feel like this dude was born to do this in the ring. I mean, he can piss people off. He does it. He has it. He has it. So, I'm very anxious to see that match. G Signature said he enjoyed Logan Paul's run. Yeah. Yeah, I really do. I really enjoyed his run, man. I mean, the match he had with Roman Reigns, that was really it right there. I feel like that was Roman Reigns' claim to fame because you had someone that's relatively green, relatively new at Crown Jewel, and you stole the show with that guy. I feel like that's a credit to Logan. That's a credit to Roman Reigns. And that further elevated Logan Paul. So, with the injuries that he had after Crown Jewel. So, I think Seth Rollins going to win. Logan Paul going to have a tremendous showing, and, you know, that's that. So, next up is Braun Strowman Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Not really too excited about this match. I don't know who I would like to see win. My pick is Alpha Academy. That's my dark horse. That is my dark horse. Alpha Academy. I feel like that's a surprise. So that's my dark horse for the weekend is Alpha Academy actually get this win. But I'm not really looking forward to this. But I feel like, again, you look at the card, but the match is going to wow you. So that's why I think that's what's going to happen with this particular match. But my pick is Alpha Academy and see how that goes. I don't think the Street Profits is actually going to win this one. This will be a perfect opportunity to see. How can I say this? So G Signature says Viking Raiders need a win, and Mark Scott says that match might be the bathroom break. Might be the bathroom break match. It could very well be. I mean, so a wrestling card has its ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster. The two most important spots you can be at a pay-per-view is the first match and the last match. And there's a little buffer, you know, to fill in that gap. And I feel like with this tag team match, that's what's going to happen. But that's what we think initially. But once we see the match, it's like, oh, this match was actually pretty dope. I do agree with G Signature that the Viking Raiders need that win. But I feel like Alpha Academy need that win just as bad. Chad Gable, I mean, this dude is a phenomenal talent. I mean, he really do remind me of Kurt Angle. So I want to see him do better than what he's doing. I really think that. G Signature says, hell nah, that women's tag challenge tag will be. I don't think that will be. Okay. 2 candidates for bathroom breaks. Okay, the women's tag team match and the tag team turmoil match with Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders, and so on. But I think with the women's tag team match, Trish is going to be the one that turns, and that makes that match even more interesting at the end of it. So, but now running back up, you got Rey Mysterio and Dom. So here's my take on this. Rey Mysterio beats the shit out of Dominic Mysterio. Like, beats the brakes off of Dominic. Dominic low blows, gets that roll up, gets the dub at the end of the day. Rey really has nothing to gain from actually winning this. Dom has everything to gain from winning this. So you get the satisfaction of seeing Dom getting his ass beat. But at the end of the day, Dom squeaks out with a win. And I feel like that's better for Dom to get that dub over his dad than Rey Mysterio actually beating Dom. So my pick is Dominic Mysterio gets the win, but he's not going to leave there flawless. That's my thought on that one. So I think Now the last one is Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Obviously, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens get this dub. I mean, this story has been going on for months and months and months. The three biggest storylines the WWE has right now is Roman Reigns, Cody, the Usos, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio. Those are your three biggest storylines. If it was up to me, if I had the pencil, I would have Charlotte and Rhea Ripley start off WrestleMania right off the gate. Right out the gate. Set the tone. Tell people to follow that. Have them have a knockdown, drag out match. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte starts it off. And you have Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in night one. Let that be the main event, because that's just a good note to leave off of. Like, you have them beat the Usos. It's just such a good note to leave off of. Like, just story write itself. Story write itself. And Mark Scott says, to go back, I think Ray Dom will be that super emotional match. Ray takes off the mask, gives it to Dom. You know, that might be a good payoff. That might be a good payoff. That might be I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that. But so would that be Rey Mysterio's very last matches against his son? I mean, that would be poetic now. That would definitely be poetic. Like, his final matches against his son. I don't think there's any better way to end your career. Like, you started your career, you literally watch your son grow up. You did a storyline with Eddie Guerrero, right? Did a storyline with Eddie Guerrero as a kid, and you go from there and you see him grow up to be a young man, and you in the ring with him. Y'all became tag team champs together. He goes on a heel turn. Y'all have this emotional storyline with each other, and then you end this in an emotional match where Ray actually gives the mask to Dom. But that makes Dom a babyface now, because now you gotta, what's that gonna do with the Judgment Day? How that's gonna fare with the Judgment Day? How's that gonna fare with Rhea Ripley? And I mean, yeah, that's a lot of wrinkles there, but that's not a bad take though. That's not a bad take. Now, they're the main event for night one. Charlotte and Rhea is the main event for night one. Might as well, since he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, you might as well say that. Now, mind you, you can flip-flop Charlotte and Rhea as the main event and Sammy and the Usos as the main event. You can flip-flop them either way. Again, the two most important spots is that opening and that closing. So, I'm with that. So, on the night 2 of WrestleMania, you got Bianca Belair and Asuka. Asuka is my pick. I feel like you should have kept that. I mean, with Kana, you should have made her a menacing killer. She is a killer. And I feel like she's going to choke Bianca out, and she's going to win the Raw Women's Championship. It's time. Asuka need to win that championship. That's what it is. But I need her to be Kana. That's what I need her to be. To be this stone cold killer that we know her to be. The old school Asuka. The one that was in Japan. The one that was just beating the piss out of people. You know what I'm saying? That's the one we need. But my pick is definitely Asuka in that regard. Now, Mark Scott said, scratch that main event. They just made some changes. No set main event as of now. Yeah, there's no set main event as of now. So, we'll find out on night 1. We definitely find out on night 1. But my pick is Asuka. Next match is Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. My pick for that, it was on the top of my head. It was at the top of my head, but now I got to think about it. Sheamus win the Intercontinental title. Gunther stays strong, but he's in a triple threat match, right? So if he doesn't get pinned, then that's an axe to grind saying that, hey, he was never pinned. He can still end it strong. But Sheamus is my pick. Have him win the Intercontinental title. I think it's high time. I think the story built itself at Crown. No, it wasn't Crown Jewel, was it? It was. I forgot the name of that pay-per-view. The pay-per-view escapes me right now. But G Signature says Gunther is his pick. It was in Europe. It was the pay-per-view in Europe where he went up against Gunther. And I mean, that was a knocked out, dragged out fight right there, you know? So, my pick is Sheamus for that. Edge versus Finn Balor. Now, this is very interesting. Now, we have seen this before, but what I want to see the Brood Edge, and I want to see the Demon Finn Balor go one-on-one in Hell in a Cell. That's what I want to see. Excuse me. Because I don't think the Demon Finn Balor ever lost a match. Well, Roman Reigns. That's his only loss, right? But the Brood, Edge, and the Demon Finn Balor in Hell in a Cell, I mean, whoo, man. Instant ramification. Now, if I had to pencil, I would put Gangrel in there. I would have him be in the match somehow, some way to be that nuclear deterrent. So when Finn Balor calls in Damian Priest to help him out, you got Gangrel on your side. You good. That's your surprise appearance right there. You got, well, 2/3 of it, of the Brood, you got Gangrel and Edge. But have Gangrel interfere somehow in the match. And, Edge get that dub because he needs that dub. I mean, damn. Let him end this thing at Hell in a Cell. So I think we'll see the Brood. I think we'll see the Brood as well. G Center said, didn't he lose against the Fiend? No. Nah, I don't think the Demon lost against the Fiend. I think Demon only had one loss. And I think they kept them apart from that. So I think that's going to be one of the match of the nights. Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Bathroom break. I'm not even interested in this match, okay? Not interested in it, none whatsoever, because I want to see Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar in a no holds barred type match. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. I don't want to see Omos and Brock Lesnar. I mean, that shit came out of nowhere, especially after you done hit Bobby Lashley in between the legs to get out, to get disqualified. Come on, man. That's how you're going to end that feud? You're going to end it on that BS? Come on. But I don't know. They want to make not Bobby Lashley. I don't know. They want to make Brock Lesnar look strong, like to be dominant like he used to be, because he lost a couple of matches since he's been back. I mean, he lost a few against Roman Reigns. So, if I had to pick, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar gonna go over. Honestly, with Omos being as dominant as he is, he's gonna dominate the great majority of that match. And the story gonna be Brock Lesnar can't do it. Like I never seen him struggle like this before, and all this other stuff. So, and then finally, he's able to do it and beat Omos. So Brock Lesnar over Omos. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. That's just a no-brainer there. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Now, there have been rumors circling around that Ronda Rousey is dealing with an injury. Not too interested in this match. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not too interested in this match. It says that G Signature says that I'm cool on Brock and Bobby because they're not going to do any amateur chain wrestling. I've been low-key disappointed in their matches. Mark says same. G Signature said that's a bathroom break I'm trying to tell you about. I mean, Omos and Brock Lesnar is definitely going to be the bathroom break. But I'm just not as interested in the women's tag team match as I am with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, as I am with Bianca Belair and Asuka. It's just not appealing. Just like with the men's tag team turmoil match Not really interested in that either. So, now there's a ram in the bush out here because LA Knight does not have an opponent. Bobby Lashley does not have an opponent. Bobby Lashley was supposed to face, Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt is dealing with the illness, so that's not happening. You might see Bobby Lashley and LA Knight like this quick runoff where Bobby Lashley just gets this dub off of LA Knight. I hate to see it, but I feel like there's a babyface turn in the works for LA Knight because he is seriously over with the crowd with his promo work and everything else. So, just be on the lookout for Bobby Lashley and LA Knight. Now, the main event, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Everything in my being is saying Cody. But there's a small inkling in me in the back of my mind that says Roman. Because you're not going to expect that. Everybody's expecting Cody to get this dub over Roman Reigns, right? But no one's really expecting Roman Reigns to actually squeak out here with the win. Now, this is perfect storytelling. If he beats Cody, Cody has to wait till SummerSlam to actually beat Roman, and Roman is over the 1,000-day mark. And if that's super, super important, to WWE. But I will say this, though. Like, Roman has conquered damn near everybody. And either one or two people is going to take the crown from him. And that's someone from NXT, like a newcomer, or Cody. Like, Cody is that next, like, top tier person that can take the title from Roman and still keep WWE at the same level if Roman Reigns wasn't there, right? Braun is the next big thing, but with the storyline the way it's going, I don't know, but my pick is still remaining. It's still going to be Cody. I'm still going to pick Cody. However, I would not be shocked if Roman Reigns squeak out with this win. I would not be shocked. Now, looking at it, G Signature says Cody wins and the bloodline turmoil is a whole other story, but they may do a bait and switch. Mark Scott says if Cody wins, they got to play Dusty's theme music. They got to play it. G Signature, imagine Dustin Rhodes stopping Solo from interfering. Mark Scott, but I don't feel like it's going to happen. That actually would be dope. However, Dustin is still on the contract with AEW, so that's not that. I don't see that happening. Especially with Tony Khan and the WWE, they have a rather tumultuous relationship. I feel like they can work together. Tony is willing to work with the WWE, actually, and WWE is kind of like giving Tony their ass to kiss when it comes to like working together on certain projects, But I feel like Tony wouldn't be opposed to having Dustin doing this run-in at WrestleMania. I don't think he would be opposed to that because, it's family at the end of the day. I mean, he could very well could have kept Cody in that contract. Legally, he could have kept, Cody in that contract. But he let Cody pursue his dreams. He let Cody do what he wanted to do. So, Dustin lives and breathes AEW. He stays in AEW. He's coaching at AEW. It is what it is. So, if he doesn't show up, cool. But I do agree with Mark, though, saying that Dusty Rhodes theme music, wow, that would be dope, man. If Cody wins and they play Dusty Rhodes theme music, man, that would be super dope. Everybody goes home happy at WrestleMania. But Roman Reigns getting that dub, that's very interesting to see. But what G Signature is saying in the comments is that Roman is looking at Jey Uso, and he's looking at Jimmy Uso sideways, like, and they dropping these little subtle hints. They dropping these hints and clues about what's going on within the bloodline. But what Sami Zayn said did plant a wedge within the bloodline, even though Jay naturally chose his brother over Sami, obviously. But the thoughts that he put in Jay's mind still remain. So, only time will tell. Those are my predictions for WrestleMania. And Mark Scott says Tony Khan might pull a favor or two. He might pull a favor. There may be a deal being broken. I mean, I just saw on Twitter that Powerhouse Hobbs and Big E just took a picture together. I mean, they're in L.A. I mean, they're enjoying it. Ring of Honor is going on right now. Supercard of Honor is going on right now. Definitely going to check out that pay-per-view when I get off this live. I'm glad you guys are able, the Geek Corner, to hang out on this live feed for the week for Nerd Talk. If you haven't checked out the most recent interview I had with Genevieve, you need to go and check that out. Like, her assessment on Boruto as a fandom, like her approach to Boruto is very profound. Very profound. And I'm happy to announce that in the coming weeks, she will be my co-host. So you're going to see a lot more of Genevieve and her assessment on anime and sci-fi as a whole. So just be on the lookout for that. Just be on the lookout for that. And also, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Please go ahead and hit that out for us. All right? So until next time, y'all be safe out there. Enjoy WrestleMania weekend. Peace.